Welcome back to the Rieju RS2 Matrix Pro restoration series. This is episode 3. So if you missed the first 2 episodes, make sure you check them out first. So in episode 1, we dragged this beast out of storage, gave it a proper wash, and made a list of all the repairs and parts we needed. In episode 2, we finally defeated the seized on petrol cap of Doom, which meant I could actually clean out 10 years worth of baked in petrol and sludge and varnish from the tank. We also stripped down and rebuilt the carb, so progress is really rolling. Now, if you don't know the story, this is my Rieju RS2 Matrix Pro. This has been off the road for over a decade. It's a Spanish-built 125 sports bike with bulletproof Yamaha 4-stroke air-cooled engine, upside-down shower forks, Michelin tires. They stopped production of this in 2010, so this one was straight from the factory. An amazing little machine that sadly Rieju no longer supports, so parts are becoming rare, but you can still get bits and pieces out and about if you shout. The reason why this bike's back on the road, well, that's a massive shout out to my best mate Dean Rides, who gave me the motivation to bring this beauty back to life. His channel is going to be linked below in the description, so definitely check him out. He's got an awesome bike. So, in this episode, we're going to be tackling the basics that are absolutely vital. First of all, we're going to be draining out the oil that's been sitting there for 10 plus years. We're going to add in a fresh oil filter. And then we're going to be changing the spark plug. Now, I'm not a trained mechanic. I'm just a guy who loves his bike, learning as I go with a mix of YouTube tutorials, advice from mates, and a lot of patience. And if I can do it, you can too. So, alright guys, I've talked enough. Let's roll up the sleeve, grab some tools, and bring this Rieju one step closer to hitting the road again. Right guys, we have got the fairing off and we're going to attack the bike right here. So there's the oil check, there's the oil plug, should be down here somewhere, and I think this might be the air filter here. We're going to undo a couple of bits and just have a look around and see how we get on. So guys, I'm guessing this is going to be the oil. I've got this bottle here ready to capture the oil. I've got 2 bottles here. Just cut a little hole out in there, and let's see how we do. All right, that is undone. Let's try and make sure we catch this oil in here. Hopefully this is the oil bolt, guys. It's the only one on here. There we go. Got the bolt in there as well. Alright, the moment of truth. We're draining out the old oil. Now bear in mind, this oil has been sitting in here for 10 years. And just look at it, absolutely black. Definitely overdue for a change. For any new bikes, here's why changing your oil is so important, especially on small
125cc engines like this one. These little engines work hard, and the oil is what keeps everything lubricated, cooled, and clean. Over time, old oil breaks down and gets contaminated with carbon and dirt, and it can't protect the engine properly anymore. That's when you start getting excess wear and even damage. So yeah, an oil change is basically the cheapest insurance you can give your bike. Fresh oil equals a happy engine. And here's me proving I'm a total novice again. I dropped the bolt straight into that old oil. Nice one. I'm sure the pros are watching, are laughing at that. But hey, that's all part of the journey, right? Okay, so don't worry, I'll be disposing of the old oil safely at a proper recycling point. No pouring it down the drain here. Let's get the fresh oil in and get one more step closer to getting this bike running for the first time in a decade. And as I watch the very last drizzle of oil coming out, it feels like a real turning point for the whole restoration. That oil has been sitting in there for over 10 years, and it's like the final bit of an old chapter draining away. Now it's time for a new chapter to begin with fresh oil, fresh parts, and a brand new lease of life for this bike. This is where the comeback really starts. Just got to find the oil filter now, so that's done. So guys, we've drained the oil out. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a bit of fresh oil on the other side, just so it flushes through any last remaining bit of oil in there, so it's clean. I think it's 1.5 litres that goes into this bike, so I've got plenty. I've got 2 litres there, so I'm going to pour a little bit on the other side, just see some of this last of this muck come through. Yeah, I can see clean oil. Yeah guys, I can see clean oil coming out on the other side, as you can see there. So we're going to just plug that up. Tighten that bolt up. That is done, so let's fill in the fresh oil. Right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to stick in this semi-synthetic Super 4 oil in there. Let's open up the cap. It's 1 litre there. It's got this open seal on here, guys. That is neat and tidy. So what we're going to do, just got this funnel here. It's got a little filter in there to keep it clean. Let's get in there, pour this in. Nice fresh oil into the engine. 10 years, guys, since it's last been changed. That is the last of that. Let that all drain down. Nice. What we're going to do, we're going to try. Stick in the dipstick and see how much oil there is in there.
in a bit more in there.
As I predicted, it took around 1.5 litres of oil to top the engine up nicely. And just look at that, clean golden oil compared to the black stuff we drained out earlier. Feels so good seeing fresh life being poured into this bike. We're almost there now. One more step closer to hearing the engine fire up for the first time.
Just going to do little bits at a time, guys. Just keep checking. See how much is in there. Stick a bit more in there. Don't need too much more. A little bit more. Yep, guys. That is plenty of oil in there. It's right up to the top lever. So, job done. Right, guys. So, the next thing on the list we're going to tackle is the oil filter. So, I think it's in this little thing here. It could be in here, I'm not too sure. I wonder if I should have changed the oil filter before I changed the oil. But let's just have a look at the size of the oil filter. And then we'll decide. So that's the oil filter, guys. I think it goes in there. Pretty sure. Let's just have a look. If I don't lose too much oil in here. So I've just done this makeshift washer. Try and get this open. There we go. That's done. We might have to be pretty quick here to put the let's get one of these. Get one of these bottles here just in case it starts dripping all over the place. Drop that washer in the oil. So guys, I'm not even sure if this is the oil filter. Guys, I don't think it is. I really don't think that is the oil filter. Let's stick that back on. Gonna have to go and see where the oil filter location is. I was pretty sure it was in there. Maybe it's round the other side. So guys, just having a look online and just read that the Rieju RS2 Matrix just doesn't have an oil filter. It's got a gauge within the block that filters the oil out. I should have really taken off the crank cover and cleaned the gorge, but the oil looked pretty clean when it was coming out the other side, so I think I'm going to leave it now. But I can't understand why I was sold a RS2, Rieju RS2 filter, oil filter. But it is what it is. You live and you learn. So the next thing, guys, that means we're one step ahead. We're onto the spark plug. So let's get that off. All right, guys. So we're now going to get on to replacing the spark plug. I'm sure I have a spark plug tool here. I'm just going to check. Oh, that is quite a small spark plug. Just wonder if any of these are going to fit on there. All right, that one fits neatly on there. So let's get the old spark plug off. Guys, we're almost getting there with this engine. Wonder if this one fits into the spark plug a little bit better. No, so it needs to be a bit smaller than this. What number is this? This is a 17. Is there a 16? Is this the 16? It is indeed. Alright guys, so we're going to pull off the spark plug cable. And there's an NGK in there already. So let's do undo. There we go, it's out nice and easy. Let's have a look at the state of the spark plug. It's out and it's absolutely filthy, guys. Absolutely filthy. Let's get that replaced by a new one. Brand new spark plug going in. Also an NGK. NGK renowned, spark plugs are renowned to be great. Okay. Let's tighten that up. Turn it the other way around. In there, nice and tight. All right, let's check the cable, the state of the cable in here. How's it look? Nah, that looks decent. That looks very, very decent and quite surprising. All right, guys, that is the spark plug done. That took around 3 minutes. One of the easiest jobs so far. Okay, so we're almost there. The next thing I'm going to tackle is there's quite a bit of rust appearing on my framework here, as you can see. All of this area here, down here, all of this area here. I'm going to put some rust control on there just to stop it rusting. I have wire brushed it all down so it's ready to be treated. I might just do the exhaust while I'm there as well, because that looks awful. So that's all ready and treated. Let's go and before we put the fairings back on, let's treat this area here. So guys, we've got this to treat the rust. So let's get some of this treated.
You can see I'm brushing on this rust remedy. It goes on white at first, but once it dries, it turns black. Pretty clever stuff. It actually reacts to the existing rust, hardens it up and seals it to stop any future corrosion from spreading. Thankfully, all the rust I've found so far is only surface rust, nothing too serious, so no need for any major cutting or welding. This treatment should keep the frame protected for a long time and give the bike a solid backbone for miles ahead.
We'll seal that up, guys. There's a bit more towards the top of the bike as well. So let's get this area here. Placing some on here. Get in there. Here. Any areas that have a bit of rust on there, we'll just treat it. There's some around the other side as well, so let's grab that. And then finally, let's get this exhaust done as well. I've done a part of it, but very great. What this does, it just turns the rust black. Tackle some from the other side. It's all done. Great stuff. This is really great stuff. Just a little bit more I need to tackle here. Okay, that's all done. All right, guys. So that's a wrap on episode 3. And wow, what a day it's been. We've really made some serious progress on the Rieju RS2 Matrix Pro. First up, we stripped off the fairings, leaving the bike looking completely naked. But it gave us full access to really get stuck in. So the big job today was the oil change. And after sitting in the engine for over a decade, that old oil had to go in. Unlike most bikes, the RS2 doesn't have a traditional oil filter. Instead, it uses a gauze mesh built into the engine to filter the oil. Ideally, you clean the gauge every change, but I admit I skipped this time since I'd already refilled the oil, and pulling it apart now would mean dismantling part of the engine, and that's definitely be on the to-do list for the next service. We also smashed out the spark plug replacement in record time. I think it was around 3 minutes, which has got to be a personal best. On top of that, we tackled some of the frame, treating the areas where surface rust had started to creep in. Now the metal's sealed and protected, and it should hold strong for another 10 years at least. To finish things off, we're letting the bike bake in the sun so the rust treatment can cure before refitting the fairings. There's a bit of rough around the edges, so I'll give them some love and repairs before they go back on, because this machine deserves to look as good as it runs. Now here's where it gets exciting. In the next episode, guys, we'll be fitting the fuel tap, dropping a fresh battery, and drum roll please, the moment we've all been waiting for, putting petrol in the tank and seeing if this beauty will actually fire up for the first time in over 10 years. It's going to be emotional, it's going to be epic, and honestly, it's going to be the highlight of this whole series, guys. So make sure you like the video, subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. And I just want to say a massive thanks to everyone who's been following along this journey. You guys keep me motivated, and of course, a huge shout out to my mate Dean Rides, who gave me the inspiration to pull this bike out of storage and get it back on the road. So please, please, please make sure you go and check out his channel. He's rocking a stunning Kawasaki Vulcan S 650, which is a beast of a bike. Alright, I'm off to work on these fairings while the bike soaks up the sun. Enjoy the closing montage, ride safe, and always keep biking. See you in the next episode. See ya!